If you are a realtor, then you are likely wanting to know how you can utilize AI to your advantage, and you've probably experimented with tools like ChatGPT, like Claude, like Gemini, but you've also been overwhelmed by how hard it has been to keep up with AI and how overwhelming some of these tools seem and how hard it can be to understand how to use them. And I'm here to make all that simple, because a lot of the ways people are using AI is just a complete waste of time. But in my personal business, I have used AI to follow up with clients, to send letters, and to do all kinds of things. And it's all possible using Claude. And after literally building an app, after spending an entire year building an app, all of 2025, I was like, AI, I'm all in on AI. I'm going to spend the whole year building this app that, using Claude, I built this app where you can input expired listings, and then what Claude does is he reads through the listing, looks at the property description, looks at the images, does a little market analysis, and then sends the homeowner not just one letter, guys, but 5 letters over the course of like weeks, like automatically. All this happened with Claude. Following up with them, and each letter is personalized to each homeowner. And so literally, guys, me, a realtor in Tampa Bay, Florida, built this app completely using AI, and this sold me on it. I bought this book on AI engineering. I went through the whole thing, highlighted it everywhere, just spent the whole year, guys. I spent my entire savings, just invested in AI. Like, I was closing 20 million, 24 to 25, it was not that. In 26, it's not that. But you know why I'm not worried? Because I know that this technology is that massive. And so here's my story. I realized that the apps, that building an app is not the way to make money in AI. And what a lot of people are doing, and a lot of the ways people are using AI looks a lot like how people were first using cars, meaning it looks a lot like a wagon. Like, when you look at pictures of the first cars, they pretty much just modeled them to look like wagons. But we hadn't really had that breakthrough in the technology yet. And so it can be really hard to pay attention to what's noise and what's genuine value, and what should I genuinely be using in my business to help make it better. And I'll say this: people hate AI and people love AI. People hate AI when they feel deceived, and people love AI when it makes things more efficient and more valuable. And that's how I think realtors should be using AI. It should be helping clients achieve better experiences and better results, not less authentic ones. And what most people are doing with AI is they're using it to create AI generated videos, AI generated images. I would regard that as slop. And where I think you can truly leverage AI is through a couple things. And so we're going to go through that in this video. And we're also going to go through how to set up Claude Desktop and how to start seeing massive results with AI today. By the end of this video, I promise that I will have sold you on using Claude. And so, main thing I guess I want to say before we really jump into it is the reason you are going to see massive results using Claude, and the reason you're going to see AI to be able to do things that you weren't able to see with ChatGPT and you weren't able to see before is because we're going to give Claude 2 things that you have likely never given AI before. And one is going to be proprietary data. And this could literally be just a CSV that you downloaded from the MLS, but here's the kicker. It's 100% accurate. It's not AI going and searching the internet, trying to grab stuff off Redfin, off Zillow. It's not that. It is proprietary data that you have gone out and collected and given the AI. So that's one. And then proprietary data can also be other things. It can be conversations with customers. It can be your emails that you've sent out. Like, that's your language pattern. That's your style. That's how you like to talk. That's data for the AI to have so that it can now instantly write an email that sounds like you because it has 1,000 examples of what you like to sound like. So how do we get that data, that proprietary data, to the AI? That is the one thing that is going to totally unlock a lot of potential for you. The second thing is going to be tool use. It's great to have an expert. It's great to have someone that is just a professional and you can ask questions to, but someone's still got to do the work at the end of the day. And this is where we've really seen massive leaps in 2025, and where we're going to continue to see massive leaps in 2026. But what's changing is it's just getting easier and easier to use these tools and to have them do things on your behalf. And so where tool use is huge is now you can not just ask AI, hey, can you help me respond to this email? No, you can literally say to AI, respond to that email and make it sound like me. And the AI will go read through how you sound, write an email that sounds like you, and then put it in your drafts, or go ahead and send it if you want. It can say, okay, I drafted the email, it's in your drafts, shall I go ahead and send it? Yes, go ahead and send it. And so that capability, guys, is what I'm talking about. That is going to give you the massive edge that you need as a real estate agent. And so we're going to go over that in this video. Okay, so let's jump into the video. How do you get started with Claude? If you want to see massive results from AI, there's no way to sugarcoat it. You are going to have to use the highest end models, the models that are coming out right now, guys, because I'm telling you, the capabilities that will give you that edge are the ones that you have today with AI. With the free models, you're getting the capabilities of what AI was 6 months ago. That is not going to give you that edge that you need today. So for $17 a month, you can get that edge. And so for $17 a month, I want all of you to get the pro model. Get the pro model for this, because you can't even use Claude Code or Claude Cowork without the pro model. And that's really what we're building up to, because that is going to give you insane capabilities. And so you can go here, hit try Claude. You can sign up, make an account. And then what's nice is you can go right here if you're on Mac. And then if you're on iOS, it should just default to that. But once you log in to download the desktop app, what you can actually do is you can go right here and you can download it. And so guys, the reason you need the desktop app is because to give Claude capabilities and to give Claude an easy way to get him that proprietary data in a way that's safe, stays on your computer, and is also easy for you to manage and to work with, and for him to work with, and all that, is going to be to get the app and to download it on your computer and to do all that. So all you have to do is hit this bottom on the left, and then you can kind of ignore all this. We'll talk about this later in later videos, but you just hit download for Mac OS or whatever you have, and then you can just open it right up. Pops up like that, boom. And then we will log in. Okay, so when you open up the Claude Desktop app, it's going to open up right here, and then you have your sidebar on the left, where we'll get talking about this soon. But the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is kind of getting at that proprietary data. How do you do that? And so the first feature I want to talk about is adding files or photos. So guys, this is huge for multitudes of reasons. For the case of as an agent, what could you do here? Well, you could give it entire CSVs with comps for maybe a property you are trying to analyze. You could give it contracts to have it look over contracts quickly. Maybe you want it to second check every offer that you get in. You could do all kinds of things with this. You could give it books, you could give it articles, you could give it newsletters that you have, and you can also give it photos, which is really nice, even just for like navigating tech things, which is often what I am using it for, is honestly just even giving it a screenshot and saying, hey, how do I move this domain from WordPress to Squarespace, or things like that. Like, it is surprisingly capable, and it makes my life so much easier. So the ability to add photos and to add files so that the AI can have more understanding into your problem is huge. And so all you do is hit add, and then really any file on here you can add. And guys, this is CSVs. This is really anything it can analyze. And what's nice from there, we'll talk about the model. So you're definitely going to want to default to just using the highest end model, unless you have a really simple task that you know and you don't want to waste credits because you only have a certain amount of usage to the high-end model per day, and so that can get used up pretty quick. If you are me, I use it up every day without fail, and so I try to consume how much I use it, because once you hit your maximum allocation for the day, the only way to get more is to pay for the individual usage, and so that's obviously not ideal. But you can switch through the models, but for the most part, keep it 4.6. Next thing I would say is here you can record as well. This is huge. It's way easier to talk to AI than to type. Typing takes time. Later, in a later video, I'm going to make a tutorial on an app called Whisperflow that I use only now on my phone and on my computer, and I use this literally more than I don't even type anymore. And so from here the next thing I want to talk about is styles. And so this can be huge, guys, because depending on how you're using AI, you might be responding to an offer, you might be responding to a client's text, you might be drafting a social media post, and all those require a different style, format, and tone. And what most people do, the way most people utilize AI, is they just prompt back and forth with it until they get it to sound right. But what is the game changer is to go through and set all this up one time so that AI knows exactly how you like to sound when you're responding to a text, exactly how you like to sound when you're talking to your mom, and exactly how you like to sound when you are drafting a market report. And so styles is big. You can go and set up styles. And what's really nice is you can just drop in examples. And so if you have any documents, any messages, any emails, you can drop all that right in and just literally just give it to it raw. It doesn't matter, as long as they are actual examples that you wanted to use. That works too. And then you can also describe to it the writing style. Guys, a hack here is use AI to do this. Like have a window open with another model, or have Claude open on Chrome, and then ask Claude to help you with this. And Claude will ask you the right questions that you need to really do this correctly. And so rather than complicate this tutorial, really my best advice is to utilize the tools themselves to help you with setting all this up. All right, let's talk about projects. So projects really is great for if you have, like for me, I use it for quick things where I want all the memory stored in one spot, and it can be a great way to start to get used to using AI. So let's try it for like a listing, for example. If we had a listing, 123 Banana Street, I don't know. This contains all the details around the transaction for this listing. And then in this project, you can add individual files. And so we could upload the contract. We could upload maybe one document where we list off everything we do in our transaction process from A to Z, from sending emails to title, from getting the inspection scheduled. We could add the summary of the clients, their wants, their desires, their communication preferences. There are all kinds of things we can add. And what's nice is you don't necessarily have to have it all as a file. Like even if you have it just copy and paste, you can just copy and paste it in right here. And then you can say, this was the latest email she sent us, or something like that, whatever it is. But the point being is this is all that proprietary data that you are giving Claude access to, and then Claude can act as an expert, as that expert real estate agent, and help assist you with the transaction, which is great. You can also add instructions for individual projects. And so what's nice about this is you may have settings for Claude overall, but with this project, it might be a little different. For example, you might overall like to engage with your clients very formally, but for this transaction, it might be someone that you're way closer with, and you might want to engage with them more casually. And so here you might say, hey, for the sake of this project, engage with this person more casually, update your style guide to do that. And so that would be a good way to use instructions within the project. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is this customization area right up here. So this is where you can go into, and we'll talk about skills in another video because this is really a huge thing that has come out super recently, but this unlocks massive capabilities where you can go and make a skill one time, like BPO or CMA, and then from there, you can adjust the skill individually if you ever want to make changes. But yeah, we'll make a whole video on skills. With connectors, this is really what has made Claude Desktop so awesome and so easy. Is this used to be really, really hard to set up. And so what's nice is you can go right in here and you can start attaching Claude to things like Gmail and even things like iMessage. Like I can literally tell Claude, okay, go and look at my iMessages. Did I have any recent messages? Okay, yeah, go ahead and respond to that one or draft a message. And it just makes me a lot more productive. And what's nice is you can, in here, you can adjust individual permissions. And so this is huge. So you can see in my iMessage, I say for search context, always allow, don't ask me for permission. For reading my messages, always allow, don't ask me for permission. For getting unread messages, always allow. But then for sending any messages, that will require approval. And so this protects me from Claude sending messages out because, guys, AI still has a lot to go. And I think that is still vital for us to be involved in our transactions, involved with our customers, involved with our businesses, because we still are genuine people that want to have genuine relationships. And that's what I hope for all of us. And so with that being said, I think this is okay. I'm never going to change this. I always want to be in control of my business. The way I look at AI is like an employee in my business. And so I might ask my employee to draft a message, but I'm going to ask him to, let me review it before I have him send it. I might have him mail it. I might have him send it, but I ultimately am in control and aware of what is going on in my business. And so guys, really with the plugins, with the connectors, there are a ton of options. You can really go in here and explore tons and tons of apps. And this has been a huge thing that Claude has done. And really, I think the main thing that I think has just made it huge for business owners and huge for realtors to take advantage of, because like things like Google Chrome, you can literally give Claude access to your Google Chrome. And so like I've literally used it, like been like, hey, I'm not sure what to do. Can you just figure this out for me? And just given it control, and it's gone and navigated through my Google Chrome and done that. And so we'll probably talk about that in a later video, but the capabilities here are insane. And what's nice is once you attach these tools, guys, there is no learning curve. Like you don't have to learn how to use Gmail within Claude. The way you use Gmail within Claude is just by talking to Claude. And that is why this is massive and why everybody is able to do this. Everybody is able to do this. It's just the setup that takes time, but the setup is getting easier and easier. So the next thing that they just released is plugins. And what's awesome about plugins is plugins are like bundles of multiple things, whether it be how to use tools, memory files, skills, tons of stuff. And this is really something that I'm interested to see how they go about with, but you can go in here and you can just download an entire plugin. So here we can install this finance plugin. And so now we have the finance plugin. And so when we go into the finance plugin, you can see we have different skills already loaded in just by loading in this one plugin. Audit support, manage month-end close process with task sequencing, close management, financial statements. So all these skills are here. And then here's some things we can, I guess, try to ask. But this is big because you can also customize them individually to you. And then they're also making it so that other people can provide plugins, provide connectors. And so really, guys, this is why I'm a huge advocate for Claude. And I think that it's totally worth it. Like for me, I've gotten rid of all my subscriptions, or as many subscriptions as possible, and just stuck with my Claude Max plan, because that $200 month subscription, I know it sounds like a lot, but truly, guys, this has given me insane capabilities. And so in the next video, I want to talk about Cowork, and then later we'll get into Claude Code, which is what I use primarily. But Cowork is where we are really going to start to utilize Claude in how it uses tools and actually taking actions on our behalf, and all the things you need to be aware of around that. But for the sake of this video, really, that gives us a lot to get started with.